What's up, dudes? Episode 5 of It's Still Our City, Destructo Disk. I know I always say this, and I'm not trying to be full of shit, but this was another super fun one for me. They got to come to my place, the compound, so that was tight. I didn't know two of the bandmates. I just only knew Molly. I met Molly working at a restaurant, and them and I were always cool, and I finally caught wind that they were in a band, and holy shit. It is such a fun, badass band. I'm blown away that these people have only been here for 3 years and they've accomplished as much as they already have. I mean, they definitely deserve it, don't get me wrong, but like, it's just crazy. It seems like they've been here for much longer with how much ground they've already covered. Yeah, this one was rad. Good kids. Definitely check out the band. It's kind of a genre and a style that, I mean, it really doesn't matter what you like. You'll probably end up digging them. Yeah, this one's rad. Join us as we talk about influences in music, why they got into it, where they're from, a little bit of Virginia, the first concerts we went to, and whether or not you're a milker, whether or not you're a true milker. This is episode 5 of It's Still Our City, Destructo Disk, and it's brought to you by RBA Magazine. Hope you guys dig it. Milker. I hope we get one good, caution! Bus moving left! All right, so I am chilling with Destructo Disk. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Nothing. In the shithole. How old are you guys? What are your names? We'll go left to right.
I'm 14,
Okay.
and I'm 27.
Gideon is 14 and 27. It's a duality
My name's
there.
Gideon. I'm 14. 27. And I like to party.
My name is Dylan. I'm 24, and I also like to party.
Sweet.
My name is Molly, and I am 29.
When did you change your last name?
And I also like to party.
I know for a fact you don't
I
party.
know for a fact you don't party.
So you're like the old man of the group.
Yeah. I
Yeah, it's
am.
like these guys are partying and smoking joints, and then you're just chugging fucking gallons of milk so they don't go bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was up with that? It was like someone had it in a cooler, and then
Well, hold on. So the origin, the first time
The first time
we
I
were
had
just
milk.
on tour with Travis Racy,
Legend.
killing milks, killed 20 servings of milk.
Double servings, so 40,
Double servings.
40 servings of milk.
Estimate around 40 servings of milk, because there was one point where we both had tall boys.
Racy.
But before that, we had like half gallons of milk.
what is happening on
Racy-
the
Before
floor?
that, so I used to drink. I would try to do like the Go Mad thing, where I drank like a gallon of milk a day, which is impossible. So it would be like a half gallon like every other day. And we were about to go.
This was a goal of yours?
Yeah,
You
do-
wanted to just beat the system and be able to do the gallon
Well, it's
of milk
just-
challenge?
It's just like some people do it as like a diet. It's just for like protein and like macros and
Molly's
stuff.
weird.
I am weird. I'm stupid.
Molly's
That's
all I gotta do
That's
this.
not stupid.
I do this for my ripped abs. I'm gonna drink
We
7
were-
milks today.
We were about to go play a show in like North Carolina, and I had a half gallon of milk that was gonna go bad by the time I got back. So I just took it with me, and we were late. So I just took it with me in the car, and I was just chugging milk while we were driving because I was paranoid about the milk going bad. So that's where there was I don't know if you remember Gideon, but there was like a story where like I was holding a gallon of milk and you
That's
took a
what I
picture of
saw.
me.
Yeah.
Like I think it was back when we were playing, and it was when we went on the Weekender with Smoon. That's what it was.
I think it
Yeah.
was hot. It was hot out. So.
Yeah, and it was like no. It was January, but it was probably like a warm day in January.
Oh,
Well,
I'm crazy. I thought it was hot. That's why I was like,
I
why are you
think
crushing
it was
milk?
January.
on this recent tour, we brought our friend Travis Racy along, and he, like Molly, also just happens to drink milk.
He's a milker.
And he was drinking 1 a day, and he was keeping a tally. And after a few days, day 2 or 3, he had 2 a day. And then we were like, what's that at? He's like 6 or 7.
And I was like, I'm at 3. How are you at 6? And then I started trying to catch up to him, and I couldn't.
And then
He was always 5 milks ahead of me.
we were like, you got to get to 20. You got to get to 20. And he's like, easy. And
You
then,
think he's bullshitting you, though?
No, we
were
watched him.
Yeah.
We watched him. He
Is
was.
this Travis, the tall, sweetheart kid that always
Yeah.
wears, Carhartt beanies?
Yeah.
Okay,
Does
cool.
he wear
That guy's-
Carhartt beanies?
He wears Carhartt jackets.
That's what it is. Okay,
Yeah.
he's a Carhartt kid.
Yeah, he's a hardcore
He's like if you
dude.
turned a little dog into a man.
He does have a
Yeah.
little dog.
Well, it's kind of cat-esque if it's all the milk, but
It was a milk.
That is,
see
it's
that
true.
too.
It's true.
It's very
Well,
cat-like.
that
of
man,
him.
he had drank his milk. Last one was chocolate. Victory round, he had the chocolate milk.
it's already getting so weird. Let's try to go back to square one. So you guys are all young. When did you guys all get here? When did
To
you guys
Richmond?
move? Yeah, to Richmond.
2021.
I think
Oh,
all
okay.
3 of us moved in 2021, but at that time Dylan wasn't our drummer yet. So it was Gideon and I moved here together
From where?
from Winchester, Virginia.
baby.
Where we're all from.
Patsy
We're all from
Cline.
Winchester. Dylan's a little younger, but he played in bands the same time that we did, and one of the bands that he played in, we would play with all the time, like
Okay.
as Destructo Disk and his
So you
band
guys were
X-Ray
like
Cat.
well versed.
Yeah, we're like
So we
well
knew
homies.
each other, and then
We just happened to end up here at the same time.
yeah, we just so happened like we weren't really in contact when all 3 of us moved. Like we weren't in contact with Dylan totally, and then it just happened to like we needed a drummer. Like our old drummer was like
This was
Still in
recent with
Winchester.
him though, right?
in the last year.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
October of 2023.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so you two moved here together
Yeah.
Yes.
in 2021
Yes.
Yeah.
for the goal of like just crushing it with
Just
music.
keeping our band rolling. We
Because
kind
you
of
wanted to move here because
we-
it's a bigger, better place.
and there's
Yeah.
nothing there's no concrete music scene in Winchester like there is here.
I
It's
can't
also
even-
like there's like folk music,
yeah.
but
of
it's like
course.
we had done all we could in our hometown, and it was also we just wanted to.
This was
get
like
out
the
of
next
hometown.
level. This was like
Sorry.
Yo, what is that?
It's a really slow moving truck. Jesus Christ, that dude was taking his time.
Yo, what?
yeah, we
So,
needed to level up.
Where
so,
is
like,
Winchester? If you're, is it
is-
north?
it is 2.5 hours north of here.
Because that's not a
It's-
college
Is
town.
it technically?
it
It is
is-
a college town. It's
Okay.
Shenandoah University. But
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
yeah. I
weird-
see, dude. I always forget that there's it is technically a college
Is it
town.
like an
In my
art
head,
school or like a
in my
music
head,
school?
it's like a retirement community because that's what
Yeah.
it feels like. It's
Okay.
super slow moving.
I grew up in
it-
Fredericksburg, and it is a college town. But
Yeah.
when it comes to like-mindedness or like
Mhm.
doing something cool, especially with music, it's so few and far between. It was like such a struggle
Right.
Yeah.
doing anything. Like I did some charity shows there for a family. The husband got really bad cancer, and I mean, I was bringing like banger bands that would like, sell out Strange Matter on a night here. That was
Yeah.
before your time, but like, and there'd be like 40 people there, and it's like, God, you don't even know. It's like, you don't even know what you have here, and you don't even fucking care. It's like
Yeah.
the music scenes are so weird, and there's stuff like folk and stuff like that does well, and that's cool, but.
It's like yeah, it was that was the main reason I think we moved to Richmond because we didn't want to move too far.
Yeah.
But we were like, we gotta get to like a city or something.
It felt like we had done everything we could in Winchester, and we needed a step up. It's not like we had totally stalled out, but like I guess like we just didn't want that to happen. We didn't want the band to like fizzle out, and it just felt like the next move was going to a city where we didn't have, because like in Winchester, like the cool thing about Winchester is we're like 2.5 hours from Baltimore and maybe like an hour and 45 minutes from DC and not too far from Philly. It's like there's a lot of really cool cities that are pretty much driving distance, but also in Richmond there's like venues all around us. You can play pretty much anywhere.
Also,
you can,
like bands actually shows actually happen here.
Yeah,
like
and,
in
like-
Winchester, we'd have to drive hours to go see any cool show. You
It's
could
like-
go to Baltimore or DC.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
Richmond, like the bands like actually come here.
yeah.
Which is-
That's
And
it's a
it was cool that
discouraging.
the idea of like living somewhere where like things could come to us and we didn't have to go to the cool things.
Absolutely.
Like it just made sense to like come out somewhere like this.
Back
And also
when you
like
guys weren't even alive, when I was in Fredericksburg, we started the band Jefferson Plane Crash, and
Yeah.
like we would go on tours.
That's a good band
and
name.
People would come out and like want to see it. Like we'd pack a place in New York City on a weeknight, but then we'd play our hometown. There's like 10 people, and we're shooting ourselves in the foot. So I understand, like, you guys, like, all right, we have to relocate this whole thing and like reevaluate it. It's probably feels way better for y'all too after it's only been a few years, and that's my cat. No one's allergic to cats, right?
No, we
I
fuck
don't
with
think
cats.
he even notices you yet when you look over and flip his shit.
Meow meow.
Oh, he's
Oh,
being
he's
nice,
a big
right?
orange cat.
Hey, what's up?
Uni baby.
What's the kitty's name?
Uni.
Uni.
Yeah, you and I.
Like university.
Sure.
Uni.
I had a cat called Unit, and he was awesome. And then when he passed away, I got Uni, and then my brother got Tunit. We're all orange cat guys.
That's good. That's good.
Okay, yeah, because you guys are doing good for only being here for 3. How long have you been a band?
Since 2015.
Okay, so you guys are okay. You got your shit
I
locked.
joined a
2017.
year or so later.
I think you joined 2017.
I officially
He was
joined in
out.
2017. We became friends first. There was like a couple months where like I was just a friend, and Destructo Disk would practice. Destructo Disk was a 2-piece at the time. It was just Gideon and Daniel, and
So this is your baby,
yeah.
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
At the time, well,
now it's
Gideon-
Molly's too.
Gideon had another band, like another like main band at that time, and Destructo Disk was like, I guess, sort of like your side project, and then Destructo Disk sort of became the baby, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it was like once like all of us were together and on the same page, it really became all of our babies.
Yeah.
Because I feel like,
3 parents.
yeah, I feel like
That's
very
it.
connected.
Yeah, it's a team. It's a team thing.
You
It's a
guys
team
just
effort.
got back from kind of recently from a tour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a week or two ago.
It's a new album.
Yeah, new EP.
Yeah,
New
dropped a
It's
new
like
EP.
20 minutes, so it kind of feels like.
When did the EP come out?
The
November
21st?
21st.
Okay.
22nd? No,
It
it's
is
21st.
How was the tour
It
for it?
was so good.
It was.
so cool.
It went
This was
so.
the milk challenge, or no?
This
This
is
is
the milk-
something-
this
This
is the milk
was so
tour.
like
This is a milk
Okay.
tour.
we
Milk tour.
we kind of had like 2 runs on the tour. The first run was the week before the EP came out,
Yeah, that
and
was
we
a
were on
week.
the road with Tongues of Fire. We went
Shouts
couple
out.
Tongues of
couple places
Fire?
down south.
Tongues of Fire.
Where are they from?
They're from Atlanta. No,
Atlanta and Asheville.
Atlanta and Asheville. I think their members sort of like move around.
Okay.
Which one did they just move to?
I think they just moved to Asheville.
Or Atlanta?
We
I can't remember.
We'll figure it out.
You might get
But
lucky.
they rule though. Tongues
They're
of
so
Fire.
good. They're so good that it's like actually insane.
I love them.
Um,
They shred.
Yeah, they're super good shredders. But Lowell from that band essentially booked that run for us because we
Shouts
were
out
like,
Lowell.
yeah, shout out, dude, fucking killed it. We played like some really cool shows, mostly in places that I think we'd never been.
It was like
Um,
DC, West Virginia,
Ohio.
Ohio.
We played 123 Pleasant
Missouri.
Street in Morgantown, West Virginia, and that was a really sick show. It's a really cool venue. It's a really sick
Yeah.
show.
Man,
So we-
West Virginia, good grief!
Yeah.
I played a show there in Nitro, West Virginia, and it's where
Nitro?
the American Gladiator Nitro was from. That's
Really?
way before y'all's time. But
I love American Gladiator.
okay,
Yeah.
Nitro, and
Did they name the town after the gladiator?
it was probably like a small little. It probably wasn't called Nitro on a map, but everyone called it Nitro. But
That's sick.
there was a dude, and he took off all his clothes, and his body, like his skin, looked like it was made out of paper mache,
Oh,
What?
and it was very odd.
yeah.
At the show?
At the show, we got
That's-
completely naked. The cops showed up. It was nuts. When the cops were raiding the place, I figured out where the PA system was because it was like a skating rink thing.
Oh.
So there's like a PA system. They're like, all right,
Yeah,
next
yeah,
up on the batting cages.
Yeah.
And I just started yelling the most random shit while the cops were in there. And this dude's naked. He's got like a paper mache penis and everything's very strange. And the
We gotta
cops were like-
find him.
The cops are like,
I'm right
I
here.
don't ever want to find that. Not trying to body shame, but it was just very, his skin, it was very odd looking.
Did he need lotion?
Like I thought it was like an art project thing at first, and I was like, no, that's his kibbles and bits. Like they're out, and the man's like got his nips pierced. What's the weirdest thing that's happened to you guys on a tour?
Oh, bloodbed.
Oh,
Blood bed.
Blood
yeah.
It's gotta be bloodbed.
Is this like a milk off? Like
No,
is
this
this
is
another
our-
challenge?
This is our first tour. So we just did. Well,
You
we-
weren't around for this, Dylan.
No, I
No.
was not.
Yeah, this is when we
Probably
still
for-
had
it's a
Daniel
good
at the
thing.
time.
I have a photo of this moment though. It's very near and
Of
dear
the
to me.
exact
Of the exact
moment.
moment because I had a disposable camera in my pocket and my immediate instinct was to take a photo of the moment. So we just did like our 4th tour. We do in our heads we do weekenders, we do tours, right?
Yeah.
And we on our first tour it was this like last minute DIY booked like week or something, and we played in Savannah, Georgia. Actually, I'm gonna tell this story the way I like to tell it. We play in Savannah, Georgia, in the parking lot of a local diner. It's basically like a Waffle House, but it's not a Waffle
That sounds kind of fun though.
Yeah,
It was
so
a
stoked.
great. We went to the diner after the show
It was
and got
amazing.
some killer fucking food.
Yeah,
it was really
it
good.
was
So
called-
this place let you play outside and then come
in the
and
parking
hang?
lot. Yeah.
That's
it was
tight.
called.
The person who served us was in the audience, like dancing to us. I remember that.
Sweet.
I remember looking at them and being like, "You were excited
what,
about this."
what was that place called?
I can't remember.
That
Diner,
place is
Diner
a
on
shop.
Abercorn or Diner on.
Diner on Abercorn.
Uh,
That sounds right. It was something. It was like something Abercorn or like Abercorn Diner or something like that.
Oh, I think that's it. I think that's it. It's blue. It's right near.
It was a
Walmart.
beautiful diner. Like it had like the whole diner aesthetic, like neon.
That was
sign.
one of my favorite shows we'd ever played.
They had vegan milkshakes. It was really good,
Did
dude. Those
we?
vegan milkshakes,
Did
you
the-
would have loved it.
Did the bloodbed happen before or after the show?
Before.
It's like
Before the
Because
two
show.
we-
years ago,
so-
milkshake. Like fuck, I missed out.
So wait, this is an important thing to add. So, on this tour, Daniel, our old drummer, he prefers to be called Daniel. He booked all of the hotels in advance. It was like we all sort of had our own tasks. I did like some of the routing. Gideon contacted all the venues,
Yeah.
and then Daniel booked all of the hotels.
It's a well-oiled machine, baby.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we were like we need to be cogs in the wheel and like work as a team. And it was our last stop, and we were so excited Daniel was really proud of the fact that he booked a hotel directly behind the venue. Do you remember that?
Well, yeah.
He was
so,
stoked about it. He was like, "Oh, we can just like go check into the hotel
Well, you know,
and
getting
walk over to the parking lot."
Maps,
Wait, no,
guys.
Yeah.
here's the thing. Danny was like, when we were doing the tour, he was like, "How can I help?" And I was like, "Dude, find venues or find places to stay." And then night of Savannah, Georgia comes up, and I'm like, "Yo, can you find us a place nearby to stay?" And he says, "Yeah." And he hears the word nearby. So he's like, "Okay, I have to find the nearest
Oh yeah.
building to this
It's like
diner." we were
twice
playing
as
at, right?
expensive as
So he
somewhere else.
finds this, I'm calling it out, finds this Quality Inn motel in Savannah, Georgia, next to this diner. And
In his defense, though, he could not have known.
he could not have known.
He could not have known what was going to happen. He was just like, "Yeah, it's the nearest place."
You guys all bunk up in the same room.
But there was
Yeah, yeah.
there was
Yeah.
there were slightly and much more nicer places that lived 1 mile away.
Oh, who gives a fuck? What's up with the bloodbed?
All right, so we get there, and it's a non-smoking room, and then it reeks of cigarettes, and it's fucking musty and gross and dark.
It was not a great part of town either. Like it was in Savannah, Georgia. I'm not super familiar. I was born in Georgia, but I'm not
Well, the
super
venue's
familiar.
a fucking diner parking lot,
Yeah,
so it doesn't
I'm not-
sound like it's.
I can't really vouch for
Way up
the
to
area, but it
speed.
seemed like maybe not a great part of town.
we
The hotel sort of matched the area.
We get in the
Yeah.
room and it's fucking gross and I'm pissed because it reeks of cigarettes and it's like fucking disgusting and it's just like dark. And then we're like, all right, let's check for bed bugs. So we like lift up the bed,
The very first bed.
the very first bed, and the whole bottom is just stained with a ton of blood.
underneath of like
Underneath
the
the bed.
comforter,
And
like
like,
the mattress.
The
Yeah,
mat, we just
it's
lift
like-
it up and there's a bunch of blood, like soaked. And I just have a disposable in my pocket. I just take out the camera and I just take a photo.
and
of it.
it's like me. I think
Housekeeping.
it's me holding. Is it me
It's
holding the
Danny
bed?
holding
Danny's
holding it
holding-
up, giving a peace
Yeah,
sign,
Danny's
and then
holding the
Molly's
bed, and my
freaking out.
face with my jaw dropped.
It's so
and then
funny.
Gideon captured that exact moment. So it's like our genuine
It's
reaction to
so
seeing
gross.
the blood.
The
That's
photo,
probably
it looks
should
like
be-
poop,
It
but
should
it's
be
not
the
poop.
photo for.
Yeah, it should be a
This
record.
episode.
we'll send you the blood bed photo.
Yeah.
I have it.
Yeah.
Did you contact the people?
We
that-
did,
went to the
yeah.
front desk.
We went to the front desk and they were just like, "Oh," they hardly reacted to it. They're like, "Okay." We asked for our money back, and I'm pretty sure we didn't get it.
No, we didn't get
How
it.
Yeah.
big of a spot?
It was
It was
like
like
the
the-
size of a body. It was like
It
What
was
in
like
the goddamn fuck?
it was
Yeah.
like the whole bottom was stained, but like
you'll see in the photo. It's
70%. Like the main core center was just like really dark.
That's
And then
gotta
in
be
the
an EP
photo,
by
it
y'all.
looks
Yeah.
like
Bloodbed.
it was like really in person. It looked like so nasty. I was like,
it was also just like the
Felt
vibe
evil.
of the hotel and
Yeah.
like the
Icing
fact
on
that
the
it
cake.
was stained with cigarette smell and it was a non-smoking room.
Non-smoking.
And we were just like, okay, not a great vibe. Later on, though, we, I think
a nicer spot.
it was like me or maybe like Caitlin or someone. One of us researched that hotel, and there had been a shooting there like a few months prior with like
There you go.
I think like a dead person.
Hmm.
So like we were like, we can't stay here.
Yeah,
So
Savannah's.
bloodbed rules. That was our first tour. We were like, all right, we got a story.
I mean,
Yeah,
dude, what's the second weirdest then? Do you have weird tour stories, Claire? Do you have anything that's just fucked? My brother.
Yeah, I do have one that's pretty fun. We played. I think this was in North Carolina. The town and the city escapes me right now, but we played a show, and after the show, everyone was invited back to stay at this one of the band members, the keyboardist's house. And so they're like, we have plenty of room. It's a huge space, so the whole band gets there. We split up in like 2 different cars, so we got there late. So the festivities are going to have a bonfire, and everyone was sitting out in this big backyard. We have plenty of space. We show up, and we hear this like really deep, like sort of like Johnny Nash or John Cash sort of like singing. It's a very guttural sort of like acoustic singing thing happening. And it's like an improv session that they're doing at the camp as we're walking up.
Party thing.
And they're doing this sort of like sing along for an improv singing situation. We walk up on it, and I'm like, who in the world has this glorious like deep voice that I've never heard before? And we're walking up, and it's one of our bandmates. I'm like, wow. And he's like wasted, completely wasted, and just like
You
singing.
didn't know about this
And
talent?
it's like swashbuckling. It's just like really like intense and wild. And then so they want us to sing, and we just walked up, and we're not really in that zone. We're like, no, we're good. We're just gonna sit down and kind of get into things. And the guy that was playing acoustic guitar was so offended that we wouldn't sing on the spot that he was like, come on, if you don't sing right now, I'm gonna throw my guitar in the fire.
Awesome.
And
What
I
the
was like,
fuck?
Oh.
if you do that, I'm really sorry for you and your guitar. Like, I don't want that to happen. I'm not going to sing. And then it just got like weirder on from there. I sent my location to everyone in the
Just in
band
case.
and to other friends, just because it did have a really wild vibe to it.
My brother was in a really cool band called The Sad Lives of the Hollywood Lovers. It was like Depeche Mode, like dance pop. It's fucking sweet. I'll send you links if that's interesting at all to you. Forever ago. And I filled in on drums for them. It was really fun. But one of the things I missed out on, they were pulling up to a place, I think in West Virginia. And they pulled up to the venue, the house show spot. And they're like, I think we're here. And then they saw like another van with stickers. Like, okay, that could be another band, whatever. And the screen door comes flying open. They hear like, and the screen door comes flying open. And this woman is running out of the front door with a 30-pack of Bush. And then behind her was like a dude in like kind of like underoos and like big old boots and like a big jacket, and he's like trying to catch up with her. They're probably like steel toe and they're not tied, and he just drop kicked the shit out of her into a muddy ditch, and then picked up the beer and just didn't say a thing, just walked right back into the house. And then the woman gets up and like gets mud off of her and looks over at like my brother's band, and they're all like, are you okay? And she's like, I think. And they're like, we're not playing here.
Yo, yeah.
We're not gonna play here tonight.
Holy shit.
Can't be doing that.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's horrible.
We should find her.
I've had some weird.
You can save her, dude.
Dude, I can fix her.
I was like touring when I was your guys' age. That was light years ago. And that was like, we were printing out like Google Maps, like actually non-echo efficient.
I've always wondered, like, touring,
Yeah,
like,
you have a-
15, 20 years ago, like, what the
You had to
You have a
difference
binder.
is.
You
Yeah,
have a
you have to
binder.
read
Well,
the signs on the interstate.
You had to have
print
someone-
out the map quest from
Yeah.
one location to the next location,
Yep.
and you have it all in this little
It was a
sleeve.
binder.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
if
my
you
God.
did like 30 days, you
Yeah.
have a fucking full-on book, and you have to like designate, all right, you're passenger, so you are the co-pilot, and then everyone on the back can drink beers and smoke joints and fuck off. But like when you're the driver and you're the passenger in the front, like that was a serious thing where like you'd like count like the mileage, like okay, it says 3.2 or 3.1.
Yeah.
All right, there's Neptune Drive, take this right. It was fucking
When I know this story from when I was a little kid. Maybe it was before I was born, but my parents were like on a road trip with like I think it was before I was born, because like my 2 sisters were like in the like car seats, and my mom accidentally drove like a crazy amount of mileage in the wrong direction,
Oh,
like
no.
went backwards, and then they had to like add an extra day to a trip or something. It was insane. My dad tells that story with spite.
One time I went to this is back in like the late 90s. I went to a show in DC, this is embarrassing because how it shows you how little I know about like DC traffic.
Whoa.
But we went to a DC show with me and my friend. He drove up. I was tasked with driving back. It was like sunny day at like the 9:30 club or something. And then
real estate.
yeah,
Oh, sick.
and so we ran. We went there.
So you had to get out.
I had to
with
get
no
out.
light.
And he
Okay.
passed out leaving, and then an hour later he woke up, and I'm still driving the circle
Oh,
on
Christ.
the turnpike that
Oh,
just goes like in a,
Oh my God.
I was going around and around for like an hour.
Were you
and then he
stoned
woke
out of your
up.
fucking brain?
No, I just like I had not been familiar with DC, and I was just
I probably would have done that on accident if you hadn't warned me.
Well, wasn't, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there like a town, this could be, I could sound like a total moron, I don't care. I believe that somewhere in France, someone mapped out an area so poorly that people would get lost all the time, and the United States actually reached out to the guy to make that the setup for the initial entrance of DC. So
Wow.
in times of war, people just get fucking lost.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
actually heard that before because I was like complaining about driving in DC one time, and someone told me that it was made that way so that
When you're coming in.
if DC got invaded, it
Yeah.
would be hard to get to the capital.
Yes.
Yeah.
You literally would get lost trying to fucking take over the
it's
state.
it's like one way on a single street. It's like one way until like 3 p.m. and then it goes the opposite one way on the same
That's so
street.
scary.
It is like bizarre. Like it's wild.
We're going all over the place.
Sorry.
I don't mind.
DC.
I think that's Sam right there. Scream West Virginia. Okay, so what is another crazy thing that has happened to you guys on tour?
Well,
I love these stories.
Well,
we haven't toured a whole lot, and honestly,
there was a guy who just gave us a ton of weed.
wait,
Oh shit. Wolverine
on.
claws.
hold on.
Oh,
The Wolverine claws.
oh.
Dude.
This is probably like
He
one of
was
my favorite
wearing them.
things.
Did he cut the bag open with them?
We all
No,
got to wear them.
We all got to wear the Wolverine. So this most recent tour we were just on, we played a show in Oklahoma City, and I think I've thought about it. I think that's maybe my favorite show that we like played that wasn't
Yeah,
the Piss
definitely.
Fest show.
Think so?
I think so.
Yeah,
That
like,
was a really good
that
show.
show was so much fun, and we sounded really
Shout out
good.
OKC.
Shout out OKC. I actually really like Oklahoma City. I had a really good time there. But after the show, you know, like people come up to you and say like, "Hey, love the show," whatever. This person comes up and is like, "Yo, I have weed if you guys want to smoke." And I was like, "I don't smoke weed, but my two
Everyone
bandmates
else
would love
does,
that."
Yeah.
So go talk to Gideon, and I can't totally remember their name. Was it Ren? It started with an R, I think. I want to shout them out, but I can't fucking remember.
Maybe we
their
also
name.
shouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not.
They I'm gonna
You
keep
got a last name?
I'm gonna keep everyone
You got an
anonymous.
Instagram?
So
I got their SSN right
Yeah,
here.
This-
that's the only thing I have.
this individual comes up, offers us weed. I direct him over to Gideon naturally, and they're younger, so they're there with their dad, and they have like
Wolverine is a kid?
Yeah.
Who's
yeah,
offering
it's
the
all
weed?
of us.
well, we're all Wolverine in this
Yeah.
story. So, they offer us weed, and the dad ends up saying that he's got like he owns a dispensary basically.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah. That
and
rules.
invites us back to the dispensary after the show. And I'm thinking like, yeah, that's a wild offer. We'll see if that happens. They hang around for like the end of the show, and like we're like loaded up in the van. And, like, oh yeah, you guys want to come chill? And we're like, you know what? Why not? So we go over to their dispensary. We hang out. They show us like the back room and everything. And then like in the middle of us just like chilling, I like took a shot with the guy. The kid is just like, do you want to see our Wolverine claws? And I'm like, come again?
Absolutely.
I'm like,
That's the only
I'm
thing I
like,
want
what are
to
you
see.
offering? And they're like, our Wolverine claws. And I'm like, get them out right now. So they start like going through like like all their shit. And they're like, where's the Wolverine claws, Dad? And then the dad's like, yeah, they're back here. And then they pull them out.
Well, wait,
and
hold on. Pause. What were they going through in search?
They were
for the
going through
Wolverine?
gun cases that were covered
Holy
with.
fuck.
They didn't have guns.
There
they
was
had
no
awesome
guns.
other
There was
weapons.
no guns, but there was other.
Just
there was like
knives.
knives, and then like different like
Swords,
pipes and stuff,
blades.
different sorts of blades. And she's
The
like, they're
coolest
like,
shit
where's,
ever.
where's
So this was
the-"
almost, it was supposed to be the blood bed, but it was almost blood bed part 2.
It
They
was so
they pull out the
sick,
Wolverine
yeah.
claws, and they're just like it's like claws with like a handle.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can,
They're
you know,
sick.
make
You
it-
grip them.
Dude,
yeah, it's perfect.
they're so fucking cool. I'm obsessed with X-Men. I just watched all of X-Men with my partner. Like we just rewatched the whole series. Like I don't give a shit about Marvel, but I love X-Men and also Spider. I grew up with Tobey Maguire
That's two
Spider-Man.
Marvels you give a shit about.
I don't give a shit about the
Contradicting.
whole rest of the Marvel. No, dude, it's different. The whole MCU thing with like Captain America and all those other losers. I
It's
hate.
just-
Hey, y'all
I
say
hate,
that.
dude.
I
I
haven't
hate.
crossed over into the X-Men world yet. I've gone all Marvel, but I haven't.
X-Men
jumped
is
over
where
it.
it's at. I love X-Men.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
not to love about Hugh Jackman with Wolverine claws? Like,
It's
I
killer.
ridiculous.
It's
watched
so cool.
Logan like 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
with
Dude.
my girlfriend, and I was kind of tipsy, and I just kept crying.
yeah, it's a great
It's okay.
film.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Um,
It's all good. Do not worry about that.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Logan, beautiful
Stop
movie.
kicking Stuff. It's not a drum. It's not a bass drum.
If you need,
thought it was.
if you need another drink too, that's fine.
Oh no, it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, we
He
had a
said he
good.
likes to party. He's just trashing my room now.
Yeah, do you guys? Because
Yeah, I'm crazy.
yeah, Dylan's great. Yo, don't mess with this
Wow.
guy.
Logan's incredible. That's like one of the best.
I need to.
comic
I
book-
need to rewatch it. I haven't seen it since it came out, but I remember like really enjoying that movie.
It's just so fucked. And I remember like leaving that theater, and there was a kid that was just like, "Well, he's supposed to be a superhero," and the dad was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Why? I thought their lives were supposed to be good."
Oh.
And I was like, "God damn, that
You-
kid was like so right because
Yeah.
he's just struggling the whole time,
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
just trying to help Xavier."
Yeah.
I'm a DC guy. I do fuck with Marvel stuff. But yeah,
fell off.
Yeah,
I'm a
fell
Batman freak, and there's just too much Marvel.
Yeah, it's too
I'm
much.
kind of a
that's what I'm
Mind
saying, dude.
goblin
The
I missed it. What happened?
I said I'm kind of a mind goblin guy.
What is Mind Goblin?
Mind goblin these nuts.
Okay. I mean,
oh,
He's
I don't
so-
know you that well.
He's so-
I,
he's so
you
good
said
at
you're
it.
14.
He's
we
so
got
good
it
at
in
it.
there. We got it. In there.
got it.
Challenge.
I
challenge
still got it.
succeeded.
we're big fans of like Ligma and Mind Goblin.
Big Benzo.
and, big fans
Honestly,
of
Can
Ligma.
you at least finish the Ligma?
Yeah.
Ligma balls.
Okay, there you
It's not funny. It's not funny.
It's pretty fun.
I think it's
Yeah.
pretty funny,
We're
especially
very
like
serious.
if you're stuck in a van or whatever you're driving in for hours and hours every day. You got to come up with these ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, we were all
Shout out Lowell, dude.
Shout out Bofa.
when we were on tour with Tongues of Fire, they got us real good with the Mind Goblin.
I've never
They
heard
got
that
us.
shit
They got
before.
us so good that I was like, I'm never gonna forget that.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever done the anal for the make?
Have ever done anal?
No.
Not anal. Have you ever done
No.
like where instead of saying the make of the car, you say anal and then you say the model?
No.
It's one. That's a good one, dude.
No, no.
Next time you're on the road, like anal explorer.
Oh shit.
Dude,
Anal Ford.
Anal fit.
Forester.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like,
That's good.
Anal. Yeah, anal.
Anal Odyssey, dude.
Yeah, Anal Odyssey.
Anal Town and Country.
Anal evolution.
Anal Infinity.
Next
All
time,
right, cool.
next time you're on the road, because every now and then you'll get like
Anal
a really,
Unlocked.
yeah, you'll
That's
get
all
like
I
a
need.
really weird one. It's like anal blah, and you're like, wow, how the fuck?
Anal fit.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
saying. dude.
The anal pulse.
Anal beetle?
Anal beetle's
That's
great.
good.
Anal Camry.
We usually
Anal
play
punch buggy.
we play the license plate game when we're on tour a lot. That was our game with Daniel. Daniel loves the license plate game.
I saw a Hawaii plate yesterday
No way.
in Richmond.
I saw a Hawaii plate in Richmond. Maybe it was the same
No,
one.
no, no. Okay, but they had Virginia
We get
plates.
no. You have no idea. We played this game so fucking hard. We
What's
had
the
all
significance?
all states, but like 3, and the 3 that we were missing
Oh,
was
you're
like
trying to get them all before
Yeah,
the
so you have
tour
to-
is over.
yeah. You have
Does
to
this-
find as many license plates as you
Hang
can.
on. I need. All right. They
What's
had
that?
Virginia plates, but on above the front Virginia plate, above it, they had a second plate that was a Hawaii plate.
You
So,
should have
They had
rear-ended
2
this piece
license
of shit.
plates.
Wait, but they
What?
didn't have
You
2
should have
How do you do
rear-ended
that?
this
They
piece
didn't
of
have
shit.
2 on the back. So I'm like,
Huh.
were you a Hawaii? Shut up. Were you a Hawaii car and you moved here? Or was it just like?
I don't think it works that way.
I
I
bet
think
they're from Hawaii and are annoying.
But like, was
Yeah,
that,
they're probably
but
from
I'm
Hawaii
saying,
and they
was
want you to
that
know.
their license plate? Because if that was a real official license plate,
Did you
I
see the
count it.
number? Did you
It's
see the
probably their
numbers?
old
Do you-
one, and
I
then
don't
they're
remember
like,
them,
"Well,
but I
I
can-
Do you remember-
was
do you-
from Hawaii."
Do you remember like 3 months ago when I hit up the chat freaking out because I saw a Hawaii license plate in Richmond? It was
Yes.
it was the license
Yes.
plate that had the volcano on it. And it was like it was on the front and the back. So it was like a 100% like Hawaii car in Richmond.
Hawaii.
I was like, "Did you drive here from Hawaii? Did you get your car shipped?"
I keep seeing weird import vans.
what was that noise?
It's
Have
like-
you seen the new the Volkswagen bus? We saw the one that looks like the vape.
Oh, the vape car?
The vape car. We saw it in Texas.
Yeah, we saw it
This
in,
is
in
why we
Austin.
eventually need to get some way to look shit up. I keep not buying.
You got an Xbox right there, man.
I know, I don't care. What is the longest? I have not seen the car. But wait, what is the model? Could it be an anal?
What is, you know, the like hippie,
Anal
you know, the
vape?
classic hippie Volkswagen bus? What's that called?
I think
It's just like the new version of that.
Yeah, I've seen that. They're sick.
yeah, what are they?
It was like a big vape. Racy said it looked like a
Yeah.
vape, and I was like, hey, you're right.
We just kept calling it
Now I
every
keep
car.
thinking- I keep
all
looking at
new
things
cars
that
just
look
look like vapes.
Yeah.
What's they do? What's the longest you guys have ever been on the road?
That
The
was
the tour that
longest.
we just did.
Was it 12 days or 14?
So-
It was like 13, I think.
It was 13 days on the road, I think.
Do you ever have it set up?
But it was only like 7 or 8
7
shows.
Split 'em
but,
up.
But we had like 2 or 3 like travel days. Oh, we had 2 travel days and then 2 days off. So it
Days
was like,
off were like always my favorite, man. You need it.
it's really, honestly, if you're playing more than 7 shows, you kind of need at least 1 day off because you're gonna like burn yourself out like really fast. It's so easy to burn yourself out.
We I did 9 months in 1 year one time.
Gee whiz.
That's insane.
Good God, dude. It's like we would do a 12-hour drive, barely make it there for sound check, play the show, and then like have a beer and then leave for a 16-hour drive. There's a lot of cool shit. Like, I mean, I'm thankful for the life that I've had. Like, it's been a crazy fucking life, and I'm so appreciative of, especially doing it then before. It was cool back then, like seeing bands start blowing up from like word of mouth. It wasn't just like the internet, you know?
You didn't
And
have social media.
it was cool like seeing your band get bigger when you're like, oh, we're playing the absolute middle of nowhere, and there's like hundreds of people here. But
Yeah.
God, it was weird. Like printing out all that paper, asking strangers if you could stay at their places, and having
Yeah.
weird like, you know, bush light knockouts and ditches, and we had some weird shit. There was a drummer that we had in Jefferson Plane Crash, the first drummer, Daniel Johnson, and he had a love that dude. R.I.P.
You had a drummer
Daniel.
named Daniel Johnson,
Yeah.
like the musician Daniel Johnson.
Yeah, and it was
Same
like
guy.
during when he was like
That's really cool.
popular.
That's really
In
But, like-
Jefferson Plane Crash.
He was he had a rare form of dwarfism,
Oh, wow.
and like we played in Cleveland one night, and there was this like bodybuilder who was like obsessed with him, and was like started looking at him through a window, and I'm like, this guy's gonna fucking kill me if I approach him like you're being creepy to our drummer, and I had to, and just like you go through the strangest. There's so many fucking weird things that happen, and this was before the internet. Like we didn't have it in our phones, so you couldn't just say, hey, look out for this muscle bound hunk in Cleveland. He likes little guys, and like put them
Yeah.
online and put them on blast. I have no idea where I'm going with this, but 14 days, that's solid. I couldn't do it now. I would die. Like the last biggest thing we did was like 10. But are you guys, do you have any sort of like backing like from labels or anything yet?
Well,
No.
we have our own record label.
Yeah, we run our own label.
Okay, cool.
The tour we just did was booked by other people, and we were asked to hop on.
Yeah.
It's nice when other people do it.
It
Well-
was very nice. It was
Well,
nice.
with Tongues of Fire, we like I think we
we
like
helped book
we approached them. We were like, hey, we want to do a tour, or maybe they hit us up about doing a tour, and we like wanted a tour at the time that they wanted to. So we were like, okay, let's, you know, like collaborate. And then Lowell like booked the whole fucking tour basically, except maybe like 1 or
I
2
booked
days.
the first 3.
Yeah. With Vile, they just like hit us up. Vile was the second part of the tour. So like it was like Tongues of Fire was 1 week. We did like 7 days with them, and then we had like a rest week where we came home and worked and whatever. And then we went back out on the road with Vile for the 12 or 14 days or whatever.
So
And Vile already had their tour booked. So we just hopped on the tour with them, or like they were booking the tour and like we hopped on with them. We were their direct support.
But we book our shows ourselves and
Yeah.
our tours.
Yeah.
That's our, like,
We
whole-
have like version 3 that is like a record label that we've like released.
We put out Bad
music.
Gravity
Yeah,
with
we
them.
put out Bad Gravity with version 3, and
They're like a distribution kind of.
yeah. So like we have like that sort of backing where like we have a guy like helps us out with like distribution,
Yeah,
and,
'cause
like
we've gotten some songs
getting us on the
like,
radio.
We've gotten
and-
songs on XM radio.
yeah.
But like that's about it. The extent of it.
Yeah, we've never worked with like an official label.
It's
Official.
a fine line, man, because like there was a period where one of the bands I was in was on Metal Blade, which is like a minor major label, And then the other band, Jefferson Plane Crash, we just did our own thing. And it's weird. It's like, I almost appreciated playing the tours where it was like 50 to 60, some nights a couple hundred. You never know what's going to happen. I almost appreciated those touring moments more than I did load in. We're checking album sales. We're doing this. It's sold out, like thousands of people. Like, it was cool doing that, but it's a weird thing being a musician, especially if you start to get bigger, because you'll eventually, hopefully, not have this happen. But you sort of meet your idols, and then sometimes you don't like them, and it's like a total bummer. So it was weird, like being in a major label band and then on a non-label band. I just feel like just keep doing what you're doing, because it's gonna come to fruition like organically. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are good. You guys, every time you play here, it's like completely packed. I was surprised when you said 2021. I thought it was longer than that. That's like 3 years, and you guys are already like have a name for yourself.
Well, we've
here.
had the fortune of like playing alongside some like other really great bands that come to Richmond. Again, we really owe it to like coming out to Richmond and pursuing, greater, advantages.
We really owe it to ourselves for moving out here. And,
It was our idea to move to Richmond, and it's the smartest idea we've ever had.
No, but
What made you guys want it to be here? Were there other cities that you
Honestly, like DC is so expensive.
dude,
Baltimore is a little further away, and Richmond just,
Virginia.
yeah, it's like we're
Virginia.
still in Virginia. Like, I'm still close to like my family.
shouts out Virginia.
It's
I like
it's
Virginia.
affordable enough. Like, it's not like DC cost of living. DC is so fucking expensive.
it's ridiculous.
I
Every
like-
single friend I have from there is not there anymore. It's not
Yeah.
sustainable.
You can't make it out there. And like Baltimore, honestly, Baltimore's not that much further. It's just we don't know anyone in Baltimore. But I love the music scene out there. Like, great fucking music scene.
It is really good.
Hardcore.
But Richmond, like, we like feel connected already to being in Virginia, and it just kind of like made the most sense.
Who are
We're
you-
stoked that we have been here. We're stoked that people come out to our shows, and we've only been here 3 years. Like, that's something that we are very appreciative.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are like really well received, and it seems like the shows always do good. Like, I look, since we started doing this, like every time I'm like bringing up who's potentially on, every time I brought you guys up, people are like, "Fuck yeah, dude, I fucking love that band."
That's awesome.
And it's like from all walks of life. It's like
Yeah.
older cats like me and younger people like y'all are like, "Fuck yeah, that'll be a cool interview if you don't talk too much about your bullshit and people getting drop kicked for Bush beer." So
Should have been dropped for I don't know what beer sucks.
a lot of them.
Should have dropped again, Bud Light.
That's a good one. All of those are.
Oh,
incredible.
we talking about my golden monkey?
But those things.
Man, I let me say I'm a sucker for a golden monkey because I don't want to drink 10 PBRs. I got a roommate, he loves to drink 20 PBRs. I want to drink like one beer, and then I'm chilling and I'm hanging out, and then I'm sounding stupid on the podcast, and it's all a good time.
You're killing it, and that's
Tastes like
why
a
this
banana.
exactly, and it's like 10% kick in the dick.
Can
It's like
I-
9.5, and it's up.
Do you want one of
pint.
these?
Can I interject? Can I take a pee break, actually?
Yeah, let's take
Yeah.
a piss break.
Dude,
That would be
That's awesome.
sick.
So you guys just put out a new EP. What's it called?
It's called It's Really About the Friends
We made
we made along the way.
I
I
see.
had a moment.
Fuck.
It's Thanks for
It was
the
a
Cheddar.
dramatic pause. It was perfect.
Thanks for the Cheddar Volume 3. So it's the final installment in our Thanks for the Cheddar series. Starting with Thanks for the Cheddar Volume 1, 56,000.
53,594.
594
Dreams
dreams interpreted. Reference to Dead Rising.
We did that on purpose to be annoying. And,
It's not annoying. You guys are just being fucking fanboys.
Volume 2 was Kelly Green Hardcore, and
Yeah.
Volume 3 is It's Really About the Friends We Made Along the Way.
Each-
It's a series of 3 EPs we made,
Yeah.
but we made the second and third one. We took the Thanks for the Cheddar out of the like obvious title just to make it a little like simpler. Just because like we're still just like an EP, like
Yeah.
new music.
But this is the first one that you're on, Dylan.
It is.
Yes.
Cool.
It's
Do you have like a totally different setup than the old drummer? Do you do anything differently?
Dylan's definitely got his own style.
Dylan's
Yeah, I think I'm influenced by a lot of good drummers, I think. So I try to take what I can. But like on this EP, I think Molly plays on 4.
I play on 3 and you play on 3.
Yes.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
on,
we're three.
on drums on 3?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yes.
I'm a drummer beyond being a bass player. Like drums is like my main instrument. And while we were like in the transitional period between Danny and Dylan, Gideon and I like had these songs or did we have the songs yet, or did we just like want to get in the studio? I can't remember how it went.
I can't remember. But
I think we
the
had like
songs,
I think we'd like jam some songs,
and we were just like
and
we
we were
go
like,
to the
what if-
studio without Danny.
yeah, because Daniel's in Winchester, and it's hard for him to like make it out here for like recording and like shows.
He
and stuff,
didn't
so-
move to Richmond with us.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you. You answered the
So
next
yeah,
question.
that's important context. Gideon and I moved here to Richmond, and Daniel at the time had a fiance, now wife. And he's like I can't. He's like I can't really just like ask my fucking wife to like pick up and move her life to a different city. We're like fair enough. So
King.
we asked him. We were like, hey, do you care if we just like record an EP with what we got? And he was like, go for it. So Gideon and I just went to the studio and like hashed out like 3 songs, one of which was the Boys Don't Cry cover.
We dropped that
We just dropped it as a single. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we did two originals, and then while we were working on that, I think
Dylan
around
became
that
our,
time was when Dylan essentially just kind of like became the drummer.
well,
So
he
you were
became
like
our,
filling in?
yeah, he started
Yeah.
filling in.
He
Okay.
was filling Dylan.
He was
Yeah.
filling Dylan.
Filling Dylan, baby.
Yeah.
There we
Shout
go.
out.
I was
Shout
him-
out.
I was him. Shouts out. Fill in.
Phil.
Fill in Boyer. But we got an opportunity to open for Mike Watt at the Camel.
Cool.
MSSV. Great band. And Danny couldn't play it. And we were like, we gotta play that show because Minutemen are like my favorite band of all time. And Mike Watt's like a hero of mine. And I was like, we have to fucking play that show.
I'll do it with a
And
drum machine.
Because Dylan, wasn't that your first show in the band?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
my first show. I think I had seen you guys open for Angel Dust, and I knew you guys had fill-ins before, so I was just like, yo, if you guys ever need a fill-in, hit me up. And then I think a couple weeks later, you hit me up for that show.
That's sick. That's sick as fuck.
Yeah.
And Danny was cool with it. We're still on good terms with Danny. He's the homie.
Yeah, we didn't like kick him out or anything. We just sort of like we were like, hey,
You grow apart, man.
Well,
If you
We're all on the same page. He was
We-
like,
yeah,
you
we're-
guys need to tour, and I can't tour with you. You guys need a drummer.
yeah, we were like,
And
do you
we were
care
like,
if
we
we
need a
just
drummer.
use like Dylan's here? Do you care if we just like keep playing with Dylan? He was like, no, I don't care.
I remember running into you at Cobra that one night. And
Yeah.
you were like kind of in the middle of talking about how like you weren't frustrated, but you were just sort of like, you're doing the math in your head on like, well, fuck, what is our next move? You were mentioning like he only gets X amount of days off a year and all that stuff. for
Yeah,
his job.
he's got like a big boy job, so it's like
Yeah,
hard
he's
for him to
following
justify.
that. He's
Yeah.
starting a family, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what his goal is. If he's marrying someone, and
Yeah.
people grow apart. Like,
And I'm losing my train of thought, so it doesn't matter.
well, to correct myself, people don't grow apart, but life gets more complicated. you
Yeah,
know?
like,
And
You can never know like where
it's
you're
like
gonna
he
be
can
in
have a
5
baby,
years.
or he can have like 3 or 4 more blood beds.
Or you could just keep getting
True.
Yeah, exactly. Or
That's
you could
true.
just keep getting
He-
fucking promotions.
Yeah, he has a
And
job
less
where like
time.
he
He's
is
too good
he
at
is
his
like
job.
scaled to the top at his job.
Fuck
he
that
works
dude.
he works in like a
Fuck.
factory, and like he makes good money, and I don't blame him for wanting to do that. And
He
so
works
Yeah.
at a what factory?
he works for I think he works for like P&G.
I don't even know.
One
Shouts
time he
out.
gave me a bunch
Shouts
of like
out.
hair shampoo and like toothpaste for free.
Full Circle Horse Shampoo.
Yeah.
There we go.
Buy
There
it
it
in
is.
bulk.
Well,
Sam's Club.
he basically, long story short, I'm not exaggerating. I think Dylan saved this band
Yeah.
because we were kind of like,
We sort of hit in a stalemate.
yeah, we were kind of like not running low on steam, but we were just like, okay, like, we got to start touring. We got to do more. And like, I feel like we got Kelly Green Hardcore was the last EP we did with Daniel. And I feel like that EP is really good, and we really got to put in a good final effort and put some of our best songs out. And I think that's really cool because that EP is kind of like Danny's departure, and like his mom is on the cover.
All of the EPs have our mothers on the cover.
Oh, that's really
Yeah.
cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because the new EP is Molly's mom. And this new EP is kind of like the transition of like Dylan joining in, and like I feel like you can hear the in the songs he's in, you can make out the difference. Like
Yeah.
he's a good drummer. It's kind of like if we like stepped it up. It kind of feels like we like did like a nice like evolution, but I feel like we're also kind of returning to our roots in some ways. We're kind of like writing some punk shit again.
Nerdy question. So you're on 3, he's on 3. That's
Yeah.
the first drop. Did you guys do like a back and forth where it's you, him, or did you do like the first half is you and then you end it with him just crushing, or
We just did the best flow for the songs, I think.
We did 3 with me and Gideon, and then the last 3 we recorded with Dylan.
But the
live.
order of the EP is like Dylan song.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Oh, I see. Yeah. It is
Dylan
like
song. What's the third song?
Molly song.
the third song.
Dylan song, Molly song,
Dylan song.
Dylan song,
Molly song.
Molly song.
Yeah.
Molly
So
song.
it ends on a Molly.
So it's
Yeah.
almost split in half, but there's like 2. There's like yeah. It's just kind of like weird.
Did you guys use the same kit?
No, we
It was
used
2 different
So
recording
it's
sessions.
very,
we used
very
3
different.
total
Yeah, like
3
months
kits
apart.
because one kit was a Frankenstein kit. One kit was my drum kit. I think we used my drum kit on Boys Don't Cry, and then Dylan's songs were all on his drum kit.
What do you play on, Dylan?
I play on a Gretsch Catalina Rocks.
And it sounds awesome.
24-inch kick, no big deal.
I fucking love that kit. That kit sounds so fat.
Those
It's
little
so
toms,
good.
man. Like if you like lower the bottom
Mhm.
head, dude. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly it.
It's so
It's
good.
dude,
I play a
sounds like
Ludwig.
thunder.
I play
It's good.
Ludwig, but his Gretsch is like that. Dylan's Gretsch and Danny's Gretsch, the one that's the like OG like Destructo Disk drum kit.
Uh-huh.
I love that drum kit. That drum kit sounds like a cannon. It
What,
sounds
do you-
so fucking good.
Do you remember what the aforementioned Frankenstein kit was?
It was just random parts at Space Bomb, like random drum kit that was
Oh,
at
cool.
Space Bomb, and
Yes, you got to pick
I
It was
picked like a
made
random
out of-
snare.
It was made out of
Piss. The drummer for my band right now has a Frankenstein. It's so good. But
Yeah.
he's got I think he's got an old Gretsch Catalina tom.
Yeah.
My brother's got an old Gretsch Catalina. I did an album on that. It's so
Yeah.
sick. It sounds bigger. The toms are like this fucking big, and it sounds bigger
Yep.
than like me on my like huge rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Sports. It's
Yeah. Great kit, honestly.
Yeah,
I think
big
mine's
fan
like a
of Gretsch.
12 and a 16. It sounds incredible.
so you started on drums.
Yeah.
And then how old were you when you started playing drums?
I actually started on guitar
Okay.
when I was 9. I took guitar lessons for
And
a
you're
little.
29 now.
I'm
So
29
you've been
now.
playing for 20 years.
I've been playing music for 20 years. Yeah, I
Okay.
actually, when I was really little, I took piano lessons. I hardly remember, but my mom tried to like start me young. I had an interest in music from like as soon as I could like have a personality.
Do you remember why?
Yeah, because I remember watching like MTV when I was a little kid, and I saw the music video for Sum 41's Fat Lip,
Okay.
and it rocked my world. I was like, I have to be doing what those guys
That's a
are
really
doing.
good origin.
Yeah, I was like obsessed with.
What about you?
Just
What was
like
the first
punk
time you got
aesthetic.
like
Yeah.
goosebumps and you were like, I want to fucking play?
Dude, I mean, I think luckily my dad was always into punk. And
Oh,
so
cool.
I grew up listening to like Bad Religion, NoFX, stuff like
Sweet.
that.
Just
Good
some
dad.
dad in Winchester? Is this killing it?
We I think I was born in Fairfax and then
That's
you
even
know
shittier.
moved around a lot.
That's even worse.
He grew up going to shows in like DC and stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So he introduced me to like all the music I still listen to pretty much.
What about you, man?
My parents were really into music. I was also into music like my whole life, and I took lessons as a kid, but I didn't like them because they were like from a book,
What instrument though?
like guitar.
Okay.
And I was just like, I got kicked out of guitar lessons when I was a kid because I just like didn't care. And he told my mom, he was like, I feel bad taking your money because he's just like slouching in his chair and he just doesn't like want to be there. And I just like remember like crying and like feeling really bad. And then I moved to Winchester, and because my parents were always trying to like get me to, you know, try stuff and like go to like camps and whatever. And like I got guitar lessons with this guy in Winchester. His name was Bill. I gotta shout out Bill. I remember walking in.
Bill spoke to you.
Yeah, Bill, dude. He's like,
Dude,
hey,
I know about Bill.
Dude, Bill rules, dude. Bill, because all my guitar lessons were literally these teachers, and they were like, okay, go home and like try to do this lesson from the book. Like, and I was just like, okay, whatever, reading music, whatever. And then Bill, I walk into this shop. He's got long hair. He's got a backwards
Wait,
cap.
Blind Faith?
Blind
Is that-
Faith.
Blind Faith. That was the name of the shop. Yeah.
Blind Faith, Winchester, Virginia.
Yep.
They're not there anymore, but Blind Faith was awesome. Guitar shop.
Blind Faith Bill.
I walked in, and this dude, he was wearing a backwards hat, and he was like, "Hey, Gideon, my name's Bill. Like the thing you don't want to get in the mail." And I was like, "Oh, that's funny. That's cool."
good.
And then he sat me down, and he was like, "What do you want to learn how to play? Like, what song you want to learn?" And I was like, "You can do that?" I was like, "You can just teach me a song?" I was
Fuck
like,
yeah, you
"Cool."
can, Bill.
I was like, "Whoa!" And there was no book. He just every week he just sat me down
That's cool.
and he just gave a shit, and he was
So he
really
figured out a way
interesting.
to engage.
And he was engaging, and he was just like, I just remember like I like heard like "Beautiful Disaster" by 311, and I was like, how do I play that riff? I was like, how do I do that? And he was like, I think it's like this. And he could do Evolution, or not Evolution. What's the Van Halen song? It's just the guitar.
Eruption.
Eruption.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I'm fucking stoned.
Can someone mouth riff the?
All right,
Go on. You can you do it? Can you guys do it?
No.
Harmonize.
I can't do it. But Bill was just like, he was just kind of the first like teacher I had that was just kind of like, oh, you can just like rock. Like, there's no right way to do it. Like, what do you want to learn how to play? Like, and he was just like showing me music.
Yeah.
The first thing he taught me, like, I guitar, and I got bass. Like, basically, like, I took lessons. Bill was the thing, right? But then when I was in high school, I kind of started going to punk shows. And when I was like in 2013, my friends and I went out to see Title Fight. The show was really significant to me. I'd been to shows before. I'd been to punk shows, but the show was really significant to me because it was like people were fucking stage diving and crowd killing
Was that in
and
DC?
doing this crazy shit. It was in Baltimore, it was at the Auto Bar.
Oh, Auto Bar.
And it was just
yes.
like, and I knew like a bunch of, like I knew most of the songs at the time, and it was just like insane. I just remember just being like, yo, I want to be a part of this world. Like, this is insane. So like I was always in music and stuff, but like there were like that show and a couple other shows when I was like a teenager that I was just like, I want to be doing that.
There's always
Like,
that
would be cool.
superlative experience that you have. There's always like that one show where you just like have goosebumps the whole time, and you don't care that you're like pissing in a fucking toilet that's like filled with like Mad Dog 2020 barf, and everyone's fucking everything up everywhere, and you're just like, I don't care how gross and crazy this was and how smelly it was. It's just like, that was the definitive night. That's
Yeah.
fucking cool. Auto Bar for you. That's really cool that it was Auto Bar, because
I love the Auto Bar.
Auto Bar was like late in my game. Like that was I went to 930 Club all the time for all my stuff, but like it was bands like System of a Down and shit when they were like first starting out. I didn't.
For me, it was the Boathouse in Norfolk.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
How many people does that fit?
I feel like maybe it was 500,
Okay, yeah.
maybe something like
So
that.
Auto Bar is like 350, and I remember once I started figuring out Auto Bar, I was like 18, 19. I'm 40 now, and I saw Majority Rule, Converge, and A Life Once Lost at the Auto Bar. That was my first Auto Bar show, and I remember Majority Rule was playing, and everyone in the crowd started clapping, and like in unison, and I was like, wow, this fucking venue is sweet. And like I went up to that like top left area where you can't even stand. You're just like,
Right. I've never been up there. I'm too tall.
I go up there too much, but I just kind of, just looking at the drummers. What was you didn't say like your first show though.
So my first show,
Your dad dragged you into it.
he did. I was 9.
Ooh.
It was
Young.
it was Bouncing Souls.
Oh, that was your
That was
first
your
show?
first show?
Yeah, and I
That's
think
sick.
I think
Wow.
Defiance, Ohio opened. It was at the Black Cat in DC.
Black Cat's so cool, man.
That's- yeah,
That's
it's
one of
nice.
my favorite venues in DC. I love
I think it's the
Black Cat.
best.
Yeah.
Molly, what was your first show?
My
Like,
first show?
you went to.
The first show I saw was Anarchoustic and Kill the Car in Winchester, Virginia.
Yo, kill the.
In Berryville, Virginia, at the it was like a Taekwondo studio.
Whoa.
What in
Um,
the fuck?
Yo, kill the car rules.
Yeah, I
Listen
saw
to Kill the Car.
my babysitter was dating Jesse from Gallows Bound, I think.
Gallows Bound rules.
Yeah, Gallows Bound. Shouts out Gallows Bound.
Gallows Bound.
OG.
Gallows Bound. Gallows out.
Gallows Bound. Yeah, I think it was Jesse from Kill the Car. That was his like original band. And the band Anarchoustic. I remember like I was like 14. I was really late to live music. I was a homeschool kid, so I didn't like know a lot of people. So my babysitter taking me to a show was
your
like
babysitter took the initiative.
yeah, my baby.
Was it a thing where they kind of didn't really tell your parents, or were they like,
No, I think my parents knew where I was, and they just like trusted her. She was from church, so they were like, yeah, it's good church.
So you were
kid
like a homeschool kid,
Yeah.
like were your parents kind of just like keeping you on the DL with life? They didn't want you to go to like public schools, and then
my
what's the deal, Molly?
Well,
My
I'll say,
mom-
I have 2 sons and I homeschool.
Yeah.
We homeschool as well. So just to let you know that concept.
I'm a big fan of homeschooling, but I think it's like very subjective, and like you should homeschool if you are capable. There's plenty of people who should not homeschool their kids. My mom just has really good drive and initiative, and was able to like homeschool me and my 2 older siblings and make sure that like we were getting the education that we needed, because my 2 older siblings are incredibly smart. My oldest sister is a lawyer. Jackie, like always, my middle sister always had like very good grades, like super like eloquent, and we're all like well spoken and educated. But because my mom gave a damn, you know.
Yeah.
But like
so you're one of 3.
yeah, I have 2 older
All
siblings.
sisters.
Yeah, my middle sibling is like me, you know, probably like gender spectrum, like more non-binary, and Kaylee's a lawyer.
my oldest sibling's gender is lawyer.
Sorry. I love you, man.
I'll see you in a couple weeks.
I know.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Okay.
Who's that motherfucker?
I don't know where he is. He's probably out your way. Definitely please say goodbye to him.
Oh,
Is that the Juggalo guy?
That was the Juggalo guy.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
But,
so sad he's about to leave. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Two older siblings. Homeschooling.
No, the siblings.
So
you're the youngest.
Lawyers.
I'm the youngest. My oldest
One of
sibling.
them's a robot cop now. And one of them's a lawyer.
One of them's Jackie is a chef, an incredible chef.
So good at cooking.
Jackie's like okay. So when we were kids, Jackie and I, being in a homeschool family, we made all of our own meals. You know, I didn't have like a cafeteria or anything, so we were exposed to cooking really young. My mom is a great cook. My dad's Argentinian, so like grilling meat is like very important in our family.
Fuck yeah.
So we've always had like really good like grilled meat and stuff. And Jackie and I always loved to cook for ourselves, and like, you know, Jackie just naturally fell into cooking really, and is now killing it at Oakstone in Winchester, Virginia. If you ever find yourself in Winchester, Virginia, and you want a good wood-fired pizza or just a good meal in general, go out to fucking Oakstone. That is like the restaurant in Winchester.
Nice.
So she's
really
still
good bar
hometown.
too.
Where's the other sis?
Kaylee lives in Bedford, and works at
What the hell is Bedford?
It's
That's
in
like
between Roanoke and Lynchburg, if I'm not mistaken.
Good grief.
Yeah, there's not much there. There's a law firm that Kaylee works
Best
at.
7-Eleven in Virginia.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a Taco Bell around the corner. You know, that's cool.
Nice.
But yeah, she lives there with her husband and their 2 cats and 2 dogs. And I'm very proud of her. She's very intelligent, and I'm super proud of Jackie too. Jackie's very motivated with cooking and is very passionate about it.
I misheard you and said, I thought you said motivated with cocaine. So wait, did you answer your final, like, what was the first show?
The first show I saw was
through the babysitter.
Was through the babysitter, Jocelyn Dodd, shouts out. She took me to see Anarchoustic and Kill the Car. There was a 3rd band, but I don't remember. There might have been a 4th band even. I was like 13.
It's okay.
I can't really
It's not that
recall,
important.
but
Just the important things are important.
I was so excited because I was like finally seeing live music, and I loved music. I was like a musical kid, like being homeschooled. Like I had video games and I had music, and a few kids in the neighborhood who like didn't bully me that bad, so like I hung out with them.
Well, I want to kind of what? Okay, so stop for a second. Are you comfortable with talking about that? Why were you being bullied?
Dude, I was a homeschool kid. I was so easy to bully. I was
That's
I was
not fair.
homeschooled and obviously gay. Like I was like every bully's like wet dream.
Okay,
Um,
so
And
you
I was
were-
also really compliant. So like I would hang out with these kids that were awful to me.
oh,
And
fuck.
because I was getting
they were just
like
setting you up.
what I felt like was friendship, you know, like it was really easy to just like
And
hang
you were
out.
good at Halo. And
I'm gonna say
Yeah,
it. I'm
yeah.
gonna say
Okay.
it. Fuck those
Yep.
kids.
Yeah, fuck those
Yeah,
kids.
wait a
Fuck those
second.
kids.
We can edit this out too, but like, so you were homeschooled, so that
Yeah.
already put you on like a weird.
Well, like
people thought you were different
when
because you
you're-
did school differently. When did you figure out that you were gay?
probably when I was like
Probably like right now.
shit.
Just found out.
Just this moment.
Just
Yeah.
this moment.
Are your
I think
pronouns she? I'm sorry.
they them.
Okay,
Preferably.
my bad.
Yeah.
I think I've
No,
said she.
no,
So
it's
I
alright.
apologize. So when were you like a kiddo and you figured out like, hey, I don't like these
Honestly,
fucking dorky dicks?
I think the moment when it occurred to me was when my middle sibling, who's also gay,
Mm.
was like, "Hey, do you like boys yet?" I was like 9, and Jackie was like, "Do you like any boys yet?" And I was like,
Nah.
"No."
Yeah.
And then it occurred to me, I was like, "I have never liked a single boy." I was like, "Am I supposed to?"
Me either.
And then like and then I was like, I should keep an eye out for that, and then it just kept not happening.
Yeah, so that happened like early on. But,
Yeah.
Like, why were people? I guess people are fucking dickwads.
Well, like when I was.
you're homeschooled, so that's already like some sort of.
Dude, I was such an easy target. I was homeschooled and I liked to play in mud and like play with bugs, and I would play like Army Ranger with my friends.
You
Like,
sound like a badass, but like
And
people
you're
are
a
so
bassist.
cruel.
yeah, but I
Wasn't
wasn't.
drummer.
But I wasn't a boy. So a lot of the kids are like, "Yeah, you're cool." And then when they got old, like, you know, when you get to like the prepubescent age, it's like, "Okay, why are you different? Why are you weird?" And I was like, "Why am I weird?"
Well, maybe it also could have been just like absolute plankton brain ideology of like a guy like, well, we killed Sergeant Slaughter twice, and we talked about Green Day. Why is this
Yeah.
person not into me? Fuck this person.
Yeah,
So then you start getting ostracized. That's a cat creepily opening the door.
he's real good at that.
Like you just get ostracized by people that are like afraid.
It's
they're
really,
intimidated and afraid.
if you're any kind of different, like not even just like gender or sexuality, if you're any kind of different, it's so easy to get picked on by people. You know, like if you're a kid who's like nerdy or like, you know, I don't know, there's all sorts of different people out there. It's so easy to get bullied. Bullies are everywhere.
yeah,
They're so easy to come by, and
We're all bullies.
yeah, we're all bullied. We're a
I
band
never
full of bullies.
understood the homeschool thing, like being ostracized
Well,
in that regard. And then
People, honestly, what it was, people thought that, I don't remember if it was like multiple people or like one kid in particular, but like someone started the rumor that I was like stupid, and that's why I was homeschooled, was because I was like mentally handicapped or something. And I was like, no, I'm not
That
dumb.
was probably the
it
guy
was,
that had a crush on you.
Well,
and
it
you
was
were like,
probably
"Dude, I didn't even
because
see you as
it
a
was
person."
probably because like one of their parents was like, oh, like sometimes people homeschool their kids when they're slow or whatever, and someone said that, you know, someone heard that from their parents, so they're like, oh yeah, that kid who lives next door to me, they're, you know, dumb or something, so that's why they're homeschooled. But it was just because I lived in a military family and we moved around a lot, so it made more sense for us to be homeschooled, you know, instead of
Of
like,
course, but also you don't have like traction and stuff. Like if you guys are hopping around, you're like kind of like recreating yourselves everywhere you land. You have to do
Yeah.
that for a job. It's like a financial thing. It's like a security thing for your dad, or your mom, whoever the caretaker was.
Yeah.
And the breadwinner in that situation was, and just people are just fucking losers, and
Yeah.
they just come up with their own bullshit on their own terms, and anything that they're not familiar with is like terrifying to them. It's supposed to be so black and white, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that's fucking lame as shit.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you for sharing that.
yeah,
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
no, it's all good. I'm happy to share.
My first show was Rush.
My first show was the Beach Boys.
Damn.
that's pretty good. I
That's
worked.
awesome.
I
Did they play
worked.
Sloop John B?
It was a weird Beach Boys without Brian Wilson.
Oh, it was like the corporate Beach Boys.
Yeah.
I worked
man.
a
So it
Beach
was
Boys
cool.
show last year as a stagehand, and it was like, I don't think there was any actual. Are there any more remaining Beach Boys?
It's the guys, but
Rivers
they
Cuomo.
don't have Brian. And the thing that's crazy is that like the album Smile, which is one of the greatest albums ever made.
Really?
But then Brian will just go on tour and do his own version of Smile because he wrote it, and it's exponentially better. It's a weird thing, but Brian's done now. He's got like mental stuff going on, and I think that the Beach Boys on the last leg of what they're trying to do too, in their late 70s to early 80s. But yeah, that was a really cool first show. The second show I went to was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on ice. They were like it was like ice skating and then like super killer riffs.
Whoa.
My
Favorite
first show
band?
was Ugly Kid Joe.
I don't know what that is.
Ugly Kid Joe, they had that song. This is like back in '93 or something. It was like I Hate Everything About You.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I remember that song. Holy shit.
Yeah. And
Grace.
so, no, yeah, it
Chill
was
out.
Ugly Kid Joe. Yeah, and we got kicked out of the show though. I went with my like brother-in-law, and then they were drunk and they got in a fight in the pit.
Was
And
your
we got
brother-in-law
kicked out.
way older?
Yeah, he was like in the Navy,
Oh god.
and I was hanging out. I was in like middle school, and he was like, I was the little kid brother that they're bringing along to the shows, you know.
You get
and,
sucker punched like Pony Boy from the outside. They just drag you into a fight with like a 200-pound guy.
No, they went in, and I was on the outskirts, and then they got pulled out by security, and then we all got pulled out, and then that was
Punch him in the
it.
penis, Claire.
That was the first show experience.
That
Yeah.
sucks. And
Grab his dick and twist it.
Yeah.
The old dick twist.
give me the old dick ripper. The Virginia Beach dick ripper. So you guys have been here 3 years.
Yeah.
What do you think y'all's favorite band in town is? Like, who do you like to play
Favorite
with?
Richmond band?
Yeah. What's your favorite Richmond band? Well, we can do it two ways. So what's your favorite Richmond band based on like Richmond bands that you may or may not ever be able to play with? And what's your favorite Richmond band that you've been able to play with thus far?
I'd say, man,
No pressure.
that is hard because like I love Strawberry Moon so much.
That band is so good.
They're so good. We did a weekender with them back in January of 2024. This was this last year,
I
right?
saw them like 3 or 4 months ago. Like I remember when they started. I've always appreciated everyone that was involved.
I saw them at Gallery 5. Gideon, you took me to their show at Gallery 5 when it was like maybe their second or third show.
I think I saw them around like that point in time, and I was like, "This is cool." I saw them like a few months ago. Those motherfuckers are haymakers,
Dude,
now.
they
Oh yeah, they
literally
evolved like a Pokemon.
there was a point in time where like every show that they played, was like an evolution. It was like they got better and better
It's
and
like they
better.
keep opening up on the swelling of the tone
Yeah.
and just holding out, and that snare's getting tighter, and then
Yeah.
she's just like, she just.
I love Katie's voice.
Yo,
Katie
Katie
has
can-
such
Her voice
a
is so
fucking
good,
voice.
and like it's just so funny to me because she just always seems like she's like helping you in a business or like a secretary or a reception.
Yeah.
She's so sweet.
Yeah,
It's
she's so like
and
inviting.
I hope you
Yeah.
enjoy your flight as I
Yeah.
melt your fucking face.
Yeah, she rules.
It's so
Yeah.
weird. It's like such a fun like this like dun, dun,
The Strawberry
Yeah.
Man,
so post
Shout out.
I
Shout
love
out.
Strawberry
Dude,
Man.
for real. Shout out to
Yeah.
Strawberry Moon.
one of my favorites. I also love Becoming.
Yo,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know those cats.
Oh, they
They
were
used
going
to be called
by,
Braids.
Yeah.
But they changed their name recently. And
best band in Richmond.
Dude,
they might really be the best band in Richmond.
Wait,
Like,
wait,
they
Dylan, you said
are
best band.
so fucking
In
good.
Richmond, I think.
Dude.
Yeah.
uh
They have so much potential.
yeah, like those songs are just so good. The songs are so good.
V
Like,
is an incredible
yeah,
songwriter.
V is incredible. Their singer is just like honestly one of my favorite songwriters in Richmond.
Yeah.
And it's just like this like good ass alternative rock, but it's like this like
It's like they have the sound like nailed down. Like,
she
they know
she
exactly what
writes
they're
so
doing.
many songs and there's so many unreleased ones, but just like the songs that Becoming has put out are just like I listen to them regularly. They're awesome. And there's so many good Richmond bands, but I have to shout out Becoming because like they rock.
Mm.
And you gotta see them when they play. They're starting to play more often, I think.
That's something that I haven't heard of yet. What about you? Other than
Dude, I grew up on bands like Avail, obviously.
okay, yeah, dude,
Strike
forget that
Anywhere,
Avail's from here.
Strike Anywhere, and Smoke or Fire. Like
there you go.
those bands were incredible to me. So I mean, being in the same city
Oh.
at any point of those bands, pretty sick.
My answer for a band from Richmond I would love to play with, but I don't think we will, is City of Caterpillar.
Oh,
'Cause I
my
love City
God.
of Caterpillar. I love that.
City of Caterpillar rules.
Yeah, they're my
You
friend
actually listened correctly. Thank you.
my,
So
my friend in high school showed me them and was like,
I
"This band
forget-
from Richmond."
I forget that they're from here.
well, they're not. So like they're
Fuck! Shit!
like they technically are
I'm not
now.
a local.
But like I think that was something that was like broken up. That was like kind of like back in like Page 99 days, where I think it was like like Montclair, Virginia, where like Page 99 and all those cats are from. It was like a weird northern western, not off of 95 easily spot of Virginia that like all those bands are derivative of. And yeah, City of Caterpillar is, when I was y'all's age, they were like giving me goosebumps, and it's really cool that they're doing something again. Like that rules. Sorry, I keep not facing the mic. Yeah, I don't think that's like too far fetched though.
I saw them. I think I went to their album release show for. What was the last album they did? Like Mystic Sister or something.
They released a new one through Relapse, but
Yeah.
they're about to do a show coming up
Oh, really?
again. It's already booked out, unfortunately. But like, I don't think that's like a too far fetched thing for
Like
you.
I
just wanna
saw
see
them. My friend in high school showed me them, and I was.
It's in February. It's like it's I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Oh, you're
It's like it was a banger. It's like Thou.
Oh,
Dude,
it was that big
City
ass festival.
Caterpillar.
Oh my God, yeah.
No, it's not a festival. It's 5 bands at the warehouse. It's in February, but it's like Thou, City Caterpillar. Oh, Young Widows
Oh.
Yeah,
at the warehouse in February.
I love that.
It's a 5-band thing. It's already booked out, but we should all fucking go to that. That would be sweet.
I
think it's a
saw
weekday.
Thou open for, I want to say, Full of Hell at the
that's
Broadberry
They're all friends.
like 2 years ago. And I'm pretty sure that the lead singer played the whole show turned around. I don't think he like faced the audience the entire
Definitely.
show.
Yeah,
And I was like, this is so weird. And it was like the most atmospheric music.
That's
it
like
was
Tiger
so
Beats. It's like-
fucking cool. Yeah, it was because like the rest of the band was playing normally and the singer was just like turned around.
fuck you.
Like I was just like looking at his back. He maybe turned around for like a song or two, but I swear the whole show he was turned around.
I think that like way back in the day, I used to do that too, where I didn't face the crowd, and I think it was just like a weird anxiety thing. Everyone, everyone's
fine.
allowed to feel their own way, and it's
okay to be shy.
yeah, it is okay to be shy, especially if you're like going out there and sweating and like doing your thing. You're at
Wait.
least you're contributing, at least you're there. And if people are giving you shit like, hey, you're not facing the crowd,
I
it's
have a funny anecdote. I'm a stagehand and I was working a gig like I think yesterday. This is so funny. I took a picture of it. I went to a location to set up and the people had set up the chairs backwards. So they were like reversed from the stage. And we like walk in and all the chairs are the wrong way. The stage is right here and we're like, what the fuck? Someone set up like 87 chairs in the wrong direction. I was joking the whole time that like it was for like a government speaker or something. I was like, maybe he's shy.
okay, wait a second. I want to sniper on you. What band would you want to play with?
From Richmond.
No. I mean,
Or
like,
just-
what would be like an ideal? I mean, from Richmond would be cool because we'll keep it all encompassing in here. But
Dude.
who's like your favorite from here, and like who would you want to play with?
I mean, I think a lot of my favorite bands from here we've gotten to play with at
Cool,
least.
cool.
Shout out Swagfest.
True.
Um,
Swagfest.
Swagfest,
Dude.
Bloodbed.
Bloodbed. Swagfest.
I think Avail would fuck with us. Timberry likes some rockin' music.
Yeah.
I think we could hop on over to James.
Dude, that's a cool thing. So
Might be some dead air.
Destructo Disk,
I
Guar.
think
Blood
actually
bed split.
that's actually the answer. Honestly,
I mean, of course.
I think that's the answer.
That's the elephant in the
D'Angelo.
room. Lucy Dacus.
What about you?
Fuck no.
That's your answer, Molly?
No.
Oh, okay. What do you think your answer is?
Wait.
Wait, this is the heat's on Molly, not you. I feel like, are you thinking or?
I'm thinking,
trying to help
but
out.
like, honestly, my mind just keeps going back to Guar.
Yeah.
That would
Guar
cool.
might be the
That'd
move.
sick.
I think we gotta open for Guar.
Yeah.
What do you think is next for you cats? What do you want to do next in Richmond?
We're writing an album right now.
Yeah,
A full length.
Yeah.
We wrote two songs today.
We did write 2 songs today.
Really good.
How long does it take?
Well,
So like write a song like
Sometimes
do you
it
shit
takes-
some out and
Sometimes
then
it takes 1 jam session, and sometimes it takes like months.
yeah.
Like there's like plenty of Destructo Disk songs where like Gideon has like a riff from like years ago. Like there's like on Bad Gravity, there's some riffs on there that I think you said you'd had since like high school, and we just like managed to turn them into songs.
Dude, there's a riff that I've had for like 10 fucking years and no one's ever been able to use it. And then we were doing that one thing we were doing for a minute. It was like but you nailed it. It was so fun. And it's like the band didn't work out. And then you're just like, God, you don't want to give up on that riff. It's like an old shitty uncle that like gave you a warm beer that one time. You always want to like look out for him again.
Sometimes you like know something's good.
You can't let go.
My very good friend River Allen, aka Ghost Piss.
Shouts out.
Shouts out Ghost Piss.
Wait, Ghost Piss.
Ghost Piss dropped one of the best albums of the year called Dream Girl.
Is Ghost Piss one person?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
From
They
Richmond.
used to live here.
Yep.
Yes.
And now they're in like Bushwick or some
They
shit.
live in Oregon.
Portland.
Oh,
Portland?
I was
Yeah,
really
Portland, Oregon.
close. I was very close.
So Ghost Piss saw the Breeders on one of their recent tours because I made them. I was like, you have to go.
Oh, like
You
the
have to
old
go.
school, the Breeder.
Yeah, the Breeders. You know,
Sweet.
Kim Deal, right? And River, after the show, waited outside for like an hour or two and spoke to Kim Deal. And I guess River was like, do you have any, like, I'm a songwriter, I'm a singer, whatever. Do you have any advice for me? And Kim Deal was like,
Stop.
Kim Deal was like, yo, when you write a song, like, put it down for a little bit. Like, don't listen to it for a little bit. Just, like, leave it, forget about it, whatever. Give it a year or something. Listen to it later. And then you'll be like, oh, this is a good song. Or like, oh, I love this. Or, like, yada, yada, yada. And, like, that really kind of resonated with me because there's some things where I'm like, I can't. Like, I know this is good. Like, I can't let this go. I want to do something with this. I feel like we're all kind of like that. And
That's good advice.
it is good advice. Like,
Good advice.
Chris was making fun of me for it. I'm like, no, fuck you. Like, that's actually cool as fuck. This is validating.
Shut up.
My brother's
Kim
been,
Shout out,
Deal rules.
Chris.
Shout out, Chris. And Kim Deal. Love Kim Deal.
my brother's
Top
been doing
five.
this solo album, and it's been like 4 or 5 years, and all of it is like so good. And there's a duality there, and what you're talking about, where it's like, as a musician, it's like, yeah, you want to like churn something out, quote unquote. You want to feel it, and you want to like be able to sit and think on it, and then come back to it and understand, like, you know, what you were going through in that time of your life. Like, there's so many things, and it's like good or it's not good. But then it's also like a really slippery slope because you don't want to grow out of it. If something's good and it's like from 3 years ago, like, just put it out 3 years ago and it's good then, and then evolve.
Love that record.
Do you guys ever use voice memos? Like,
That's how we record all of our
we have-
demos.
Yeah.
We have like hundreds of Destructo Disk demos. From
Yeah,
voice
I
memos
have
since
voice
the
demos.
beginning.
I have voice demos of shit that I did before I was in Destructo Disk, just like me playing guitar, that I'll probably never release, but I just have for myself.
yeah.
I actually,
Like sitting in like a little catalog.
I want to
It's
say
so
something
fun.
about this. There's some bands, I know some bands, shouts out Druk from Richmond, Virginia. I love them. Good friends.
Who's in that band?
Awesome people.
I can't tell. If I had to tell you, I would have to kill you.
Druk is like, that's not like
They used to be
Lisa.
she.
Lisa, yeah.
Lisa.
Lisa.
Don't
Yeah,
stop.
yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, Druk is the shit, dude.
I love Drew.
They rock.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Druk is so cool.
what was I saying?
We're talking about, you were saying
Talking
something about voice memos.
Oh, Druk. Yo, these fucks, these motherfuckers. when they're like, we're making an album, right? They make their whole, I don't know if this is like, I'm gonna say this is fine, who cares? They like make their whole album at home themselves, right? They like demo the whole thing out, but they make the whole record, right? And they do all the singing and everything and the whatever. And then they're like, okay, that's the rough draft blueprint that we take to the studio
Yeah.
and the people, and we're like, okay, now help us make this and better. I'm like, I commend that. Because, like, what the fuck? Like, if you tell me, if I sit there in my whole house and I
think
record
that makes perfect sense.
it makes perfect sense,
Yeah,
but fuck
that's
you.
a great idea.
It makes perfect sense, but fuck you. Because I'm like,
It makes
if I sit
sense
there
if
and-
you have the ability to do that.
If I sit there and I record
Well,
a whole album and all the vocals and everything, I'm
It's
like, that's an
coming out.
album. It's coming out.
No,
It's
no,
done. Like, come on.
I hear what you're saying, but also I hear what you're saying. It's like if you can do that,
Yeah.
and not everyone can do that.
So,
you know?
like,
When I was young and I was like just getting into like music, I had Audacity. I had a laptop, and then I had Audacity.
You had the audacity.
I had the Audacity,
For
and
some
I
years,
down
like,
and I
yeah, okay,
downloaded
now I get it.
Audacity, and I had
The
a little
program.
I had a 4-channel mixer and a Tascam digital recorder, and I recorded probably an album's worth of stuff, just like me in my basement that I'll never release to the world, but like I just like did that myself.
yeah,
And I
'cause-
always thought to myself, I was like, if I had a band, I could make an album.
yeah,
But I'd never had a band, so I just like did it for myself. It was like literally I just made music for myself to hear. But like
Cool.
if you
It's
have
all
the
about-
ability to do that, if you have the like capacity and a band to just like record music all the time, then you should do that.
Yeah, if everyone can kind of just sit down and like enjoy their coffee and like be with their lovers and like watch a movie that they've been like waiting to watch and then like put in their input and you're contributing, like you're still building and it's not the final product, but you're getting the final product, quote unquote, encapsulated,
Yeah.
quote unquote, encapsulated. Like that is a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
And I understand the envy in that. I'm not in a project in which we can really do that. It's sort of like it takes forever because everyone works too much now, but like we're still prodding forward. But yeah, I'm jealous of that too. Like that's crazy. It's like I would think that
Drix
if I
just
invested,
insanely talented.
They're just
They're
talented.
so
Like,
talented.
the way Destructo Disk has always worked is like, we are like strictly voice memos, demos.
Yeah.
Like, we have hundreds of demos of us like practicing.
And it's just like a jam, and we're like, oh, we got to record this.
or
and
like,
then,
and then we'll write the lyrics at home, or maybe we'll
Yeah.
like do the lyrics. For years we didn't have a PA and microphone. Like for like the first few years.
yeah.
Yeah, like up until
Why
I'm
were
pretty
you using
sure.
a blackboard.
I don't think when we were practicing with me, I don't think we had a PA in my basement.
we like for a long time.
You're just screaming at one another.
We were just like
We just pretended
Do it better,
kind of like,
louder.
like I a lot of my vocals were kind of yelly, but also like we were like really like an instrumentally, not bass, but kind of like focused band. Like we knew when to hold it down in case we couldn't hear this vocals or whatever. But now
That's
we have
smart
a PA.
though too.
But then we got a little bit of money and we bought a microphone, and now we can hear music.
Goddamn microphone, baby.
Just
It's
kidding.
2024. We used to go on tour. Like if we were doing summer shows, we would like take space heaters like this and face it at us, so we were sweating. So if we were playing like in Florida and places like that, we're not gonna die from the heat.
That's a really good idea.
You like built up armor
Yeah, crazy old school. Just
It's like training.
Yep.
It's literally like Dragon Ball Z.
like trains,
Yeah.
like locomotives.
So what is next?
Or we're
For
working
the
on that.
Destructo
We're working
Disk?
on that album, and I think we want to tour.
We want to, all right, 2025 goals. There's one I don't want to say. This is a little personal goal of ours.
You want to be able to Kegel flex 100 times a day while drinking 2 gallons of milk. every
Literally,
day.
yeah.
That's actually it.
I wish you didn't say that because that's what
Just
it
chuck
was. We want to do West Coast tour.
Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Our last tour that we did went so well
This
that
is
like we want to
first tour we
keep
did with,
touring.
it was the first tour we did with Dylan.
Have you guys ever done West Coast?
No.
We've never got the furthest that we
Oh,
went was
it's-
on the
it's
last tour
wacky.
that we just did. The furthest west we went was Omaha, Nebraska.
Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Texas, Omaha.
West Coast is weird. Portland's cool, man.
Yeah.
Get a show in Portland. Like you guys would fit right in on that.
The
You-
farthest
We-
west I've been is Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah,
Oh, we
for the
played in
longest
Chicago.
time, that was the longest west that we had been was Chicago. We played with Destroy Boys at the Metro in Chicago, and that was
great
such
show.
a fucking cool show.
It was an
The
awesome
Metro
show.
was so awesome.
Yeah, we got to last year. Was it 2023? It was last year.
Last
Yeah,
year was
yeah,
2023.
Yes, it was.
Factually.
In 2023, we got to play 2 shows with Destroy Boys, one in Irving Plaza in New York City, and one at the Metro in Chicago. This is before Dylan was in the band. This is our second tour. And we did 2 shows with them, but they were to like hundreds of people, like I think 1,000 people each show. And it was like the first time we'd ever like done anything like that. But people like knew the songs, like a couple of the songs.
It's such a good feeling, man, when like you look out, you're in like a different place, like a totally different zip code, totally different state, and like you're jamming on a song that you like and it's in the pocket, and like you see like the whole crowd like get into it. It's so fucking cool. It's invigorating. I want to go back to Canada, man.
See, we haven't been out of the country yet.
I want to do Canada one more time. Every time I did Canada, it was so ridiculous.
So like I've only traveled like so much in my life. I've never left the country, but like the band and like touring is like a chance to like travel, play our music, and like I don't want to say like be on our own terms, but like it's really cool to travel because of our music. And like we just like played like 3 shows in Texas. We spent 4 days in Texas. I've never been to Texas.
Me neither.
Yeah, none of
Me
us have ever
either.
been to Texas.
It was
And,
all
like,
3 of our first time in Texas.
It was because we had to play shows, and we're like so
Were you
grateful
guys
for
like
that.
like you had to fly in and out?
No,
No,
we
we fucking
rented a
drove.
van. Yeah,
We had an adventure.
God.
It was so fun.
it was awesome.
I want to do it again.
You
We want
guys
to keep
did
doing
awesome.
Yeah, we played at the Mohawk.
it.
That was the only sold out show that we had the whole tour.
Mohawk.
Was at the
It
Mohawk,
our
and it was
first Texas show.
awesome.
It was really cool.
It was really really cool.
You guys ever played upstate New York?
We've played not upstate. We've played the city. We played Irving Plaza in New York, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Played Brooklyn.
We played Brooklyn.
Where were we playing in Brooklyn?
What was the
Some
name of
bar.
that place?
Is that Mind Goblin?
Yeah, it was.
Are you gonna set me up for it one more time? What's Mind Goblin?
Mind Goblin, these nuts.
Damn, I did it again.
Yeah, we played New York a good couple of times, but we've never played upstate. We've always played like the city, like New York City, Brooklyn.
The
that
city.
area.
I forget what it's called.
The city.
Yeah, it was in a movie, I think.
I'm just being old. I have like really cool memories of upstate New York. That's where one of the bands I was in was like based out of. It was really nice talking to you dudes.
Oh,
And you've only been here for 3 years, but you guys are contributing a lot to what's happening in this town. People get really hyped on you guys.
That's
You're
cool.
a really good band. I'm really appreciative that you came here and blindly sat down. I think it was from the trust of this cat, but
I vouched.
this homeschool fucker set you up for failure.
Yo, shout out homeschool.
Shout out homeschool.
You guys
Shout
are
out,
all
fucker.
really sweet kids, and
Thank
you're
you.
in a really sick band, Destructo Disk. 2025, Rochester, New York, Houston, Texas, 7 days in a row, and then Rochester, New York again. It's gonna be the best tour of your lives.
Fuck yeah.
That's cool.
Do you have anything you want to say?
Bloodbed.
Bed.
I'll send you
Um,
Bloodbed. We put a photo of Bloodbed in one of our CDs once.
Yeah, it's like a
And
hidden.
someone was like, "Is that too much?" And I'm like, "No, people need to know.
They need to
Even
know
if
about
they don't
Bloodbed.
know, like,
Now they do.
all right."
You guys rule. Like the music speaks for itself. Dylan, it's significantly different. Like you're a choppy
Yo,
motherfucker.
Yo, thank you
Dylan's
so
got
much.
I dig it.
skills.
He's got the chops.
Yeah.
I
You guys are
appreciate
very
that.
nice people. Thanks for taking the time to come to the middle of nowhere down here and
Thank you for
Thank
having
you for
us.
having us.
have my cat lick his penis in front of you.
Love that.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Fucking Destructo Disk. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.